Alright, let's get it. This ought to be something.
Just a robot. Who's that guy? Am I right?
What the fuck was that scream?
I've talked a lot about this situation, and just like you, I want this to be the final evolution. Across almost 4 hours of content, I've discussed all the information we had at this point, and to be frank, I'm exhausted. Outside of stepping on the toes of a lot of colleagues and former friends, just the sheer amount of work I've put into this is getting to be a bit much. I mean, what did I gain from all of this outside of the outrageous amounts of revenue, online popularity points, Anyway, that's nothing, right? Then there's one favor I'd like to ask from you. I'm launching a channel for 2020 era Harley 2BS videos, like the daily videos on drama I used to do, called Harley 2BS. If you could go subscribe and check out the video that I just released as you're watching this, where I discussed the Dream Arsla drama and give a little of my own thoughts from the perspective of someone who has diagnosed ADHD. You couldn't tell. Thanks. Yap over. Just a Robot put out a video, in part
There's
focused
more
on an
yapping.
apology, and in part as a response to all of the allegations we discussed in the previous video. The most important of these being the claim that he defended a predator because he had romantic interest in them, him asking a minor for explicit artwork of Jaden Animations, him sending fetish artwork to a minor, and the uncomfortable effort he made to meet up with and talk to my friends and I at VidCon after we cut ties with him, after we expressed that we didn't want to be around him. And in the year after that, I guess, following us through a convention hall after he saw us? If that doesn't sound like the most terminally online shit you've ever heard, I'm kind of concerned. So let's watch Just a Robot's video. Response with receipts. I can't wait to see those.
Hey everyone, it's been a while. In fact, it's been a couple of months. These last few months have been very chaotic to say the least, and I know a lot of you have many questions. You're curious about my side of the story. Don't worry, I brought receipts. I know most people won't care for what I have to say. The tea has gone cold and they've moved on to talking about people like Mudahar and Nuxtaku. But at least you're here watching this unmonetized video of mine, so you don't have to even worry about giving me money by viewing this video. Or maybe you're just viewing this through someone else's live stream who's looking to farm a few more clicks off of me. I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. I fucked up. I really dropped the ball on this situation. I can't even say that I was manipulated or enabled to get involved with the cine drama, because both my roommate and my girlfriend and even my neighbor told me that what I was doing with
And my girlfriend, keyword girlfriend. And my girlfriend, right. He has a girlfriend. So, let's just keep that in mind. He has romantic interests about Cindy Bear, who, looks like shit. Who looks like fucking shit. So, yeah.
was stupid and reckless. Even I knew that defending someone from the Art CC with allegations this serious would more than likely go bad for me. I, along with everybody who was close to me, expected me to get some backlash. But not this much backlash. They're not even telling me they told me so because they didn't even expect it to get this bad. But before I get into what's going on and all the allegations against me, I would like to apologize to a few people. I would like to apologize to my girlfriend, my roommate, and my neighbor for not listening to them. You guys know me best, and you were looking out for my best interest. I should have listened to you guys, and now I'm facing the consequences for my actions. I would like to apologize to my editor Lorenzo for any backlash he might have faced from editing my video. Even you were worried about things going wrong after I released the video, and I'm sorry for making you edit it in the first place. I hope the extra money I gave you can make up for my mistake. I would like to apologize to Eno for how my video affected her. You were so young, and no one should go through that at your age. Along with anyone who might have been made uncomfortable by things I've said in my video. And I'm also sorry to my fans for disappointing them. What I did was incredibly stupid, and I understand if you unsubscribed from me. I'm not upset with everybody who has made a video on me, because I can understand where a lot of them are coming from. Granted, there are a few people who have said some crazy things about me.
Like, I knew how this guy was. I warned you how he was. I told you what position you were in, and I was very conscious and scared on your behalf because of what position you're in. Jar could have you, and that's probably what he was trying to, like, that was probably his dream, his end goal.
Credit where it's due. Scarcely so. He didn't monetize the video. Can't believe that's how low a bar we're applauding though. He does apologize, and he does acknowledge that the blame is his own. He wasn't manipulated into defending a predator. He chose to do so. Here, total lack of research and, let's say, some complicated feelings towards the predator in question. To me, show negligence to such a degree that he should never be trusted to handle a serious allegation like this ever again. Also, speaking to you, you have to start listening to the people around you. When everybody is telling you that you're drunk, you're probably drunk. There's a long list of mistakes he's made in serious situations like this in the past, but this is the one that caught the audience's attention and brought those audience members to the conclusion that he doesn't deserve another shot at this. We'll loop back around to this point later, but there is no excuse for how he handled this.
The biggest problem with my video draft about Cindy by far is how soft I went on her. I regret that even more now due to the fact that new information has been released about Cindy. I don't like being lied to, especially by people who wanted my help, but I fell for what she told me, being the gullible fool that I am. I didn't believe that Cindy is a pedo, and I still don't believe she's a pedo. I don't believe she had a desire to get with the minor or exchange nudes with the minor. I never said what Cindy did was okay. I said it was wildly inappropriate and an optics nightmare. Usually I would expect that if someone was grooming, that the would intend to get with them. At least this was my thought process at the time, based off of all the other grooming cases I have seen. I didn't believe she did what she did out of malicious intent or to hurt anyone. I really believe that she was just incredibly socially, along with the fact that I really wanted to believe that she wasn't as guilty as everyone was painting her out to be.
The issue with the video he made about her is not that he was too soft on her, nor should he be able to argue he was lied to. He admitted that he did not research the subject, he defended her in that call before she could even defend herself, and his video was an outright defense of her and call out towards Birdie. That's enough, and the excuses he uses are just that. You didn't fall for what she told you. The evidence was handed to you, and you didn't look at it. It's your fault that you made the entire video without looking at the evidence.
I never...
Yeah, all this nigga had to do was just look through the documents, but, you know, it's just way too long or whatever the fuck, or he just didn't want to read it because, you know, he just went too neck deep into fucking Cindy's throat, so... Yeah, you know, crazy work, man. Crazy work. Maybe next time do some research.
Cindy did was okay. I said it was wildly inappropriate and an optics nightmare.
This is a dishonest portrayal of your video. Some of the sentiment of this statement could be accurate, but to say that video was anything other than a defense of what she did would be bold, but more importantly, not true. I also feel this conflicts with the intro to the video, you know, where you admitted the blame was your own, that you weren't manipulated, and that you didn't do the necessary research before making the video. Why walk this back now? Also, I don't want to get too deep in a discussion around how you can or can't reclaim the R-slur, so I'll keep this short. I think even if someone is awful, using the R-slur against a person you know to be neurodivergent is gross. And literally what people went after the Senate over. You know that. It's your choice the kind of audience you want to cultivate. But the kind of people who'd be okay with you referring to other neurodivergent people with the R-slur are probably the same people who would do it to you when they decide they don't like you.
The first draft of my Cindy video was originally made to bash her. That being said, I still went softer on her than most people did, and I was planning to add more to my video draft as the drama went on. I really should have focused on being more professional and objective with the sensitive information around Cindy. Instead, I took her at her word, and I gave her way more charitability than she deserved.
I don't understand his... Why did I jazz hands? What the fuck? I don't understand his video pipeline. This might be a weird immersion break for some of you who give a shit about that. But for me, a video timeline is something like research, write, review, record, edit, and thumbnail. I don't
Yeah, especially when you have to do 2.5 fucking hours of that. Of all that. Research and writing and recording and editing. But yeah, nah, I mean, Just a Robot, like, you could have done more than just, you know, oh, look, people are calling you a groomer because say so and say so. It's just, it's not it, bro. You got to give your own perspective. Otherwise, people just gonna think that you're just copying their script word for word. And of course, Just a Robot just doesn't really do that much research. That's why he hasn't posted in months. Weird how that works.
We create the video from scratch, and I don't know why he does. I think I get what he means though. He didn't script when I knew him, and so I suppose the first video, he didn't do much research, and then, and this is the part where he loses me, planned to recreate the entire video from scratch if his opinion changed after further research. No creator I know approaches video production like this. It's effortless and can easily result in a video backfiring spectacularly. That wasn't clear already. He's making it harder than it has to be. This is a problem of his own creation.
So I'm looking at Just a Robot's video right now. God damn. So he came back after 7 months of not posting shit. And he defended Frogan. Logan Paul gets slandered by CoffeeZilla. The fuck? Wait, what the? Hold on. I gotta show y'all this shit. This nigga out here defending Frogan, who is just a evil ass fucking person, and Logan Paul for some odd reason. Hold on, I feel like he's just I feel like he's just rage baiting at this point. This gotta be rage bait. I don't even want to talk about the views because, you know, mine is worse. But I feel like this is just rage bait. God damn, look at the like to dislike ratio.
Okay.
Ah, fuck.
Okay, stop me if you heard this one before. Logan Paul found himself in some controversy after he did something bad. Yeah, I know, this guy gets himself into hot water every couple of months. Now, there are some good
He doesn't even sound like a robot anymore. Like his whole identity is just gone.
things you can say about Logan Paul. For one thing, he's a straight white man. That means I can say whatever I want about him and no one will use any oppression cards against me. Unless you're watching this video 50 years in the future, I'm pretty sure you all know who this is. The hatred people have for Logan rivals that of Andrew Tate and Donald Trump. He may not be the most hated man on the internet, but he's certainly in the top 10. So what's going on? Well, there's this guy by the name of CoffeeZilla, a YouTuber with over 4.2 million subscribers. He made a video exposing Logan Paul, along with a bunch of other people who were running crypto scams. By the way, to everybody who's interested in investing in crypto, unless it's Bitcoin, Doge, or some other well-known crypto system, it's more than likely a scam. After CryptoZoo was exposed, which sounds like a crypto system created by hypnotist Sappho, Logan Paul apologized for what he did, but he didn't return any of the money.
We're sorry. We're sorry.
So CoffeeZilla called him out again, and Logan
Oh boy. Let's get rid of that. Okay, alright. Hey man, I don't think when people said stop covering drama, they actually meant stop covering art drama. You're bad at both. Holy shit. That is one clickbait ass title and thumbnail. Why is this man still here? Good fucking question. Bro think he's slick. Put the fries in the bag, little bro. Get fucked. Dude, stop it with the clickbait titles. The Frogan one was bad enough already. So of course it was rage bait. Of course it was rage bait. Yeah, this whole thing is rage bait. Yeah, that's just to know, just a robot. I think that's just it, bro. I think that's just it.
And if you have a perspective on content creation, then it should be obvious that this is not an excuse for bad research on a leaked version of a video that he was already sending out to creators for review.
As you can hear at the end of the full call I had with Cine, I said that I would be making a new draft in defense of Cine before I talked to Jack. But yeah, I'm going to be changing my video a lot, and I'm also I'm gonna have to reach out to Jack because, you know, for all I know, you're gonna...
Uh-oh! Have fun with that, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the video ready because knowing Jack, they're probably gonna panic and try to control the narrative. Like, I thought I was being fair by doing that because I only talked to Cindy after I had a draft.
She's a Guna, but she's not a groomer. Lakers in 5. I remember him saying that goofy ass shit. She's a Guna, but she's not a groomer. Like, what the nigga? Like, these niggas think he cook with that shit. It's funny as hell. I'll give him that, but god damn it, Jar, you suck.
To upload on her, but now I can see that was an incredibly stupid move.
To be clear, I have no intention to defend Jack. That, fair. But what's fair about this approach? In the call where you made it clear that you wanted to speak to Jack, you also made it pretty clear that you had made up your mind and did not trust him. Getting the video ready when you clearly weren't confident enough to make the video without hearing Jack out is pointless.
I was planning for Saturday to be a day where I would @ Jack on Twitter, along with a day to look over a whole bunch of videos about Cine to make sure that my information was correct.
You should do that first. Why start work on a video before you know what you want to say? Or record and hire someone to edit a version of the video before you've even bothered to do the minimum research. Sure, maybe when you're lucky enough to have a good first take and there's no corrections you have to add, the videos move out of the gate really fast. But what about when you get it wrong? Because, let's be honest, you're gonna get it wrong if you do it like this.
Unfortunately, the last draft that I was still in the middle of adding stuff to was leaked by Kumo, and I panicked uploaded what I had.
Why is
As
this
you can see
character
from this
jumping?
screenshot,
That is
which
so
is
weird.
of my Cine video, I uploaded it unlisted on October 10th, which was a Tuesday, and the actual Cine video was planned to go live on Sunday. But then Kumo leaked this version of the video, so I foolishly decided to upload this version because the other one still wasn't finished.
That part I understand. I get the panic and the impulsive decision to put out a video that wasn't finished with all the pressure on you. What I don't understand is all the missteps it took to get there. If you didn't upload a version of the video that you made without even reading the document of evidence about her, then there would be no video to leak.
I don't do YouTube full time. I have a job. I have Saturdays and Sundays off. That's why I was trying to do extra research on Saturday. He got it through Romantic Goblin as I was in the middle of asking people to look over it to see if there was any mistakes I needed to correct. I asked people like Misanthropony, Akumu, not to be confused with Kumo, and others if they could look over my video. I was even debating on whether I should have Chud look it over because he knew about the Cine situation. My roommate was also on a business trip and coming home on Saturday. I was planning to look over both docs with him very carefully. I have the worst case of dyslexia in the world, so it's very hard for me to do that myself.
So you have all these people looking into your videos and shit like that if you think you got it right and stuff like that. It just sounds like you have no confidence in your videos at all. So why even make the fucking video in the first place? Like you see what I mean? Like it's commentary channels like these that just gives absolutely no fucking confidence in their fucking videos whatsoever, man. They're just like, oh yeah, I mean, I'll just have these people look it over. I mean, I just want to know if my video is actually good. It's just like you have no confidence in your fucking video. So why make the video if you have no confidence over it? And you make people look into your video to see if it's good enough to be uploaded. And then when they told you no, you upload it anyways. So what's even the fucking point of even asking them if you're just gonna go through with the upload anyways? Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, you gotta stand on business. You have to stand on business on what you're saying in your video and then upload that shit. Simple. Like you just can't stand on business, and that's the reason why your channel is fucking falling off. It's crazy work, man. It's crazy work. Like you just have no confidence at all, and you just can't stand on business. I mean, I don't know, man.
So, yeah, my dyslexia often leads me to focus more on what I can hear rather than what I can read.
Extra research? You didn't do any. I get the time constraints and the struggle with dyslexia. I do. But when, as you say, YouTube isn't your job, I don't see a reason to rush an opinion out on something as serious as this. Mistakes happen. I don't think it's a sin to fuck up and apologize, but it's obvious that this is part of a bigger problem and that you are not serious about doing better.
This is why I was considering having Chud look over the video, because I considered him to be an objective person. Granted, I went back and forth on whether I wanted him to look over it privately or on a live stream. I was also encouraged to have Chud look over my video by people like Romantic Goblin and Cinny.
You could correct me if I'm wrong, Kuma, but didn't you say the same thing on the Chud Logic stream, something she also watched but was happy with the conclusion of?
Yeah,
When you
no, I
called
said
in
the
for
exact same thing on a stream that you had no issues with.
I agreed to do this, even though I didn't know that much about Chud. I just knew he did a video on me a really long time ago, and out of any video I've ever seen on me, I thought it was the best one ever made. Ironically, he was covering my video on cancel culture.
Never know for what or when you'll be canceled. Maybe you were live streaming and you suddenly screamed out the N-word. Maybe you lied about a drama which caused people to dig into your past about other dramas you have talked about. Maybe you're completely innocent and the allegations against you are false, but too many people are against you and they won't listen. Or maybe you don't have the evidence to prove your innocence. I know cancellation will come for me one day. It comes for everyone. It's not a question of if it will happen to me, it's when.
Oh, buddy,
Will it
you're
happen in
canceled already.
2022, or maybe this year. We won't know for sure until it happens.
Yeah, that video aged like a fine wine.
If you knew that there was more for you to do with the video and it didn't even include the interview with Jack, why would it even cross your mind to let somebody watch the video on stream?
Just to give you an example
Exactly.
of the extra research I could have done on Cinny, this doc was released on the same day Kumo uploaded my video onto his channel. Unlike the other two docs, it's short and straight to the point. If I saw this, I would have held off on uploading my video to do extra research. But because of what Kumo did, I panicked and uploaded what I had.
This is just an excuse, man. You didn't do your job, you put a bad video on your channel, and you made the wrong call on who to trust it with. You can throw the blame at anybody you want, but it just shows how hollow the accountability that you're offering is.
When I uploaded the Cinny video to my channel, all I could think about was how unprepared I was for this situation. I came across as very arrogant in that video due to past success of going against the mainstream commentary community opinion and coming out on top. Granted, often when I upload a video on YouTube, I get anxiety. I think to myself, oh no, this is the video that's going to get me canceled. Hopefully it will go over well. That's why I try to hype myself up, because often when you come across as confident in a video, it makes people more willing to hear you out. Granted,
There you go. So maybe don't have people look into your fucking videos and stand on business and upload the fucking video in your own fucking internal mindset and your confidence.
it's a double-edged sword because it can make you come across as an arrogant douchebag as well.
At this point in the video, an info card came up forwarding viewers to a collaboration I made with him over 3 years ago, and I spat out my drink. It's a bad video, and my whole section sucks.
Camilla says she feels bad for Peaches because Peaches has already apologized. Yeah? She also apologized ages ago. You didn't accept that one. So why is this one different?
Why would he even recommend this as an example of success?
As for the way I interviewed Cinny, I have no excuses for myself. I was completely unprofessional with how I handled that interview. The interview was very cringe and my questions were leading. I was thinking about redoing it, but I thought that would be dishonest.
I hate the use of the word cringe when describing how it was handled. I believe Cinebear also described her actions as cringe when she was called out for speaking inappropriately with a minor too. It wasn't cringe to waste an interview defending someone else from predator allegations without even doing the research. It was unbelievable. It was beyond what I can convey with colorful adjectives and dramatic body language. I appreciate the admission that you did wrong, but there's no reason to pretty it up with nice words.
The only part of the video that aged well is what I said about Jack. From the very beginning, I knew there was something that wasn't adding up about this drama, and it was Jack. They're getting bashed for stuff hard right now.
None of what was said aged well, and it wasn't a secret that Jack had a lot of skeletons in his closet. If you were the one who put those claims out there, then sure, you could say it aged well. But feeling that there was something off about him does not a well-aged video make.
But I know for a fact they're not going to leave the internet. They're way too addicted to it.
Is it not insane to say this when you're also in the hot seat? You also aren't leaving the internet. You're in no place to point the finger.
Now, I've been called a simp for defending someone before. I've been called a simp for Peaches, Antunes, Mari, and many others. but because the DMs between me and Cinny were leaked, the simping allegations actually have some evidence for once. However, the allegations of me simping for Cinny are false. I can understand why someone
no, that's not false. You fucking odd
would believe I
motherfucker.
was simping, especially if they didn't know me as a person. I'm gonna be real here. Me saying wanna see my cock, followed up by a picture of a chicken, or me commenting nice pussy when someone shows me their cat, are common jokes I've made multiple times with multiple different people. I can't
Sure, I guess that's odd, but okay, good for you.
believe I used the same cock joke on the same person twice. The only compliment I gave her was calling her Mamacita. Here's the audio clip.
Alright, Mamacita, I'll hit you up when I get home.
As you can clearly see, I was making a race joke, not actually trying to hit on her. When I do hit on women, I don't put on a voice like that. I can't believe people thought this was my attempt to sound s***. I talk to both men and women like this, it's just how I joke around.
I believe the bigger issue here is less that he's a simp, though I get why people would laugh at all of this, and more with the fact that this is no way to handle a conversation with an alleged predator. Jokes, creepy voice messages, and sleep calls? Like, seriously. The desperate texts a few minutes after starting the sleep call don't make it better. I can't blame people for their interpretation. You have a history of being like this with women and making them uncomfortable.
I also have ship art of me and another YouTuber. It's Manga Common, who is a guy. It's Rule 63 versions of our avatars kissing in underwear.
Now, the whole world pretty much knows what I jerk off to.
I have no desire, nor romantic interest in getting together with Manga Common. If I had art like this commissioned of me and Cinny, oh my god, I would never be able to get out of this.
I think
Y'all would have to pay me to do that type of shit. Boy, let me tell you, boy. Boy, let me tell you, boy. If I get paid to do Just a Robot and City Bear, you know, doing that type of shit with Just a Robot, just getting absolutely plowed by fucking City Bear. Ah, man. Probably one of the worst thing I ever just, but yeah, nah.
what he's missing here is that if he did this with her, it would be ship art between him and a self-proclaimed. Of course, people would have an issue with that. Not that it isn't weird to commission ship art of you and a colleague without letting them know in the first place, especially when you admit in this video that this is something you're genuinely attracted to.
I developed a gender bend fetish at like 7 or 8, but
You can tell by the context of what I'm saying that I don't like it's common to develop a rape fetish at such an early age. So why would I say that it's not common for 11-year-old to develop a rape fetish, but it is common for y'all can just watch anime. Y'all couldn't just like watch anime or SpongeBob cartoons, you know, go outside, play basketball or some shit. Like, oh my god.
but that's because I watched Ranma 1/2.
I spoke to Carmen. He said that he wasn't uncomfortable when the art was made, but isn't comfortable with the fact that it was included within your video, and also putting this out here when nobody asked you to and without his permission. It's just strange.
I also said this to her in our interview, which was the first time I ever had a call with her. Like, here's the thing, I'm way more sexist than I'm racist.
At least you're admitting to it.
What do you know? You're a woman. I'm gonna be honest here, being sexist towards women, even if it's done in a joking way, is not a good way to get them to fall for you.
Having bad game doesn't mean you weren't trying.
As more and more DMs between me and other women got leaked, people started believing that I didn't simp for Cinny, but I was simping for every woman I've ever talked to. I heard some people saying, oh, maybe he just talks to every woman like this. The truth is, I talk to every person like this, both men and women. It's just how I joke around.
I don't think you had the intention to hook up with every single femme you spoke with like this. But I do think it's inappropriate to talk like this with every femme you know. It's weird and it's made people uncomfortable. If the way you're joking around is causing discomfort, why continue to do it?
Here's some friendly advice.
Good question.
Telling a woman, want to see my cock, and sending a picture of a chicken is not a good way to pick up chicks. If I truly...
No shit. Like that's literally common sense. Of course, Jar doesn't have any. What was that clip of old girl punching her in the fucking face? That shit.
It's not a good way to pick up chicks. If I
Fucking Christ, what did she do to get her ass knocked out like that?
truly believed it was a good way to pick up chicks, then I would have pursued every woman I sent this to romantically. But aside from one, I don't think I've pursued any of these women. Yeah, I did send this to my girlfriend as a joke, but we talked for several months before we actually got together. I didn't send it to her as a pickup line. I legitimately just thought it was funny.
Fucking Christ.
So you admit that you used this joke on your current partner? Doesn't that conflict with the defense that you had no intent behind it because it's not a good way to pick up chicks? I wouldn't even go as far as to say with confidence that he wanted to hook up with her, but he sure wouldn't be making a good defense for himself if I was.
One of my thumbnail artists even sent out this voice clip.
What a cute little pussy.
Alright.
Oh, is this my job?
I think it's pretty clear from my tone of voice that I'm making a joke.
The fuck? How do I do that?
I'm not actually drunk. But here's the context as to why I sent that voice clip. Cat the Cat spelled with a K instead of a C. Next
You know what, to be fair, I'd say some, you know what.
time you leak something out, make sure to edit your reaction. Saying Lamau implies you thought it was funny, not creepy.
But also, question mark, surely implies that Cat the Cat, creative username, also found it was weird. This is gonna be harsh, but I think the truth is that they were laughing at you and not with you.
People have accused me of sending the chicken image to get out of sending my dick when someone says no to me. Then why is it that out of all the examples I have found, is there no one saying no to me? Pretty much every single questionable DM of mine has been leaked, so there should be at least one image of my joystick. I'm not going to send a picture of my dick over the internet. Plus, I wouldn't want any of you males to feel inadequate.
Is this nigga in... What the fuck? Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit, brother. What is this? What is this?
Ew.
But of course, the big one is me falling asleep on calls with her. I'm going to be honest, out of everything, this was the main thing that I didn't want to get leaked out. I have incredibly bad sleep insomnia. I have blackout curtains, and I often use different methods to help me sleep, such as melatonin, NyQuil, and more. I even have earplugs and use a fan as background sound. Talking to someone as I fall asleep, waiting for the pills to kick in, is one of the easiest ways to help me fall asleep. I could only call Cindy near the end of the day, when she and I were both off of work. It's not like I fell asleep while the call was still going or anything like that. Professor Dreadlock has talked to me as I fell asleep numerous times. Unfortunately, he was on a business trip. Last time he went on a trip, I did this with someone else, and that person did not come to the conclusion that it was a romantic or a sexual thing. Because of my autism, I'm very blunt with the request I make. Falling asleep on call with someone was literally done to help me sleep. I was taking Adderall to finish up the Cine video, so that is one of the reasons why I had such a hard time passing out. I used to do what many people have referred to as sleepy time calls on Skype all the time. The only problem is Skype deletes your messages after 3 years, so I don't have the proof for that. Luckily, one of my old friends has agreed to give his testimony.
I appreciate that he has sleep issues. Being there. The issue here is how unprofessional it is to ask to sleep on call with someone facing predator allegations, and how bad it looks with the rest of the context. He also shows a screenshot during this section of his conversation with her, questioning on screen how he could fall asleep in 28 minutes on a call. The issue here isn't about whether you actually slept on the call, but that there was a clear established intent to based on the conversation. A roommate having a conversation with you as you pass out is an entirely different scenario to a person you just interviewed over sexual misconduct. It's not even worth humoring that defense with an explanation.
I almost did this as well with another person involved in this situation, and that is Romantic Goblin. I will admit, this is a weird and abnormal thing I do, but I don't do it in a romantic or sexual way. Even Cindy herself admitted she thought it was just me being autistic.
You know, like, how could he get caught in a cheating scandal or dumped by his girlfriend if nobody will believe it ever happened? And now you're acting uncertain that that was the case.
I didn't think it was at the time. At the time, I thought it was just being, like, weird. I didn't think it was, like, an actual pass. Like, I was assuming that he was, like...
You're smarter than you're letting on.
Because I just thought it was strange to say, because it's just not something you say.
Because you thought it was a flirt.
Not really, it's...
Well, then why would it be strange?
I mean... I don't know, it's just not a thing I hear people say very often.
So what else could it have been?
Just him being autistic? I don't fucking know.
Did you actually stay on the phone with him while he went to sleep?
I thought I was being a friend. I thought he was trying to be a friend of me.
Granted, she later changed her stance to the popular opinion, saying things like how she felt so violated by me.
As she said, it was weird, and I think if you can acknowledge that, then you can understand why people would be uncomfortable with the inappropriate comments made. And especially here the, and I hate this word, problematic nature of a personal relationship, including sleepy time calls, with someone that you are researching for a video over allegations. Whether she was guilty or not, I still believe that you should not develop a personal relationship with someone you're interviewing over this kind of claim. It could lead to bias, it can be used against you, and ultimately it's just unprofessional.
Yes, I do find Cindy's avatar attractive, but 99% of the time, people's avatars look a lot more attractive than they do in real life. Even my robot avatar looks more attractive than me.
Good to know, and you just literally call Cindy ugly as fuck, so... Yeah, I mean, she is.
I didn't know what Cindy looked like in real life at the time. I'm not going to hit on a woman that I haven't even seen before. Hopeless Peaches had an incredibly attractive avatar, but in real life she looked like an Albinoric from Elden Ring. Not the hot ones that ride on wolves, the one...
Albinoric from Elden Ring? No, that's a crazy roast. I don't even know what the fuck the Albinoric even look like.
Ones that look like frogs. I never asked for a picture of what Cindy looked like in real life, and I never did.
You know what? I'm kind of curious what this hopefully, what was her name again? Hopeless Peaches?
Life I haven't even seen before. Hopeless Peaches had an...
Hopeless Peaches. I bet she's like somewhere. Fat. No way that's her. Wait, is this one her? No, that's Creepshow art. Anyways.
Incredibly attractive avatar, but in real life she looked like an Albinoric from Elden Ring.
Albinoric.
Not the hot ones that ride on wolves, the ones that look like frogs. I never asked for a picture of what Cindy looked like in real life, and I never did a video call with her. I don't want people to believe that I was simping or cheating, but even if I can't convince any of you, there's at least one person who believes that I wasn't simping or cheating, and that's my girlfriend.
None of this changed the behavior you had with Jade Animations though. You were attracted to her avatar and it led to you being creepy. You need to work on that. If I was in a relationship with someone and they were as weird about someone like Jade Animations as you are, I would no longer be in that relationship. I don't think that constitutes cheating, if that makes you feel better about the whole thing, but I do think it's a major red flag. And that comment about Peaches too, I don't know why you think it's alright to harass someone because they fucked up. It makes you look like a dick, and I wonder if you only said this because you thought you could get
Damn right. You're damn right.
away with it. Peaches deleted their platform. I think that the audience were right to stop supporting them based on their mistakes. But I don't think it's cool to harass them when they don't even have a voice to defend themselves now.
But I know you guys aren't just here for this stuff about Cindy. You're also here regarding...
You know, what the fuck did this Hopeless Peaches... What did Hopeless Peaches do? What's the deal with Hopeless Peaches? I know about the initial stuff HP has to go through with Creepshow art and prison mate loot, lobbing false allegations, starting harassing campaigns. I thought it was all over once Creepshow nuked their online presence, but a couple videos started popping up in my feed calling them ableist. I tried digging deeper, but the only people I could see talking about it were Omnia, who's not trustworthy on the best of days, especially when it comes to Peaches, and their piece of shit ex, who I don't trust for obvious reasons. Hopeless Peaches also seemed to have nuked their channel. I couldn't find it when searching YouTube. I don't have a Twitter, and for mental health reasons, I'm not making an account. So can someone trying to fill me in? There it is. Hopeless Peaches was recently outed for berating a person with mental difficulties in a server called The Senate, where people basically scream at an already decided guilty party. Basically, if you are aware of the commentary Bloodsport, that's basically what happens in the Senate. If you look up the Rosa Senate call and something along those words with Peaches, you will hear some horrific stuff. Oh boy, looks like there's gonna be something else I gotta farm. Harley TBS recently uploaded a video that sheds some light on that call and their attempt to do escalating the call since they are in an art community. Okay, so she has been outed for berating a person with mental difficulties. I mean, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. But that can't be it, right? There's got to be way more than just berating someone with mental difficulties, right? Openly and frequently credited him as one of the biggest reasons that I was motivated to become a creator myself. That in mind, I don't understand why people have recently been reaching out. In response to recent events, there's got to be way more than that. I feel like Volt should... You know what? Nah.
The allegations involving the image of Jade Animations lifting up her shirt. First of all, yeah, I always had a thing for Jade Animations' avatar. I've never kept that fact hidden. I even asked her out on a date at the end of my first Daft Pina video, and then she immediately uploaded a video saying that she was asexual. Jesus, I've never been rejected that hard. But of course, the more important part about all of this is the age of the person who drew this picture for me. A document was made roughly a week after I got involved in the Cine drama. Basically, a person who I will be referring to as K was in one of my Discord servers. According to their document, they were in a VC with me, and I made a request for my avatar to be S.A.ing Jaden Animations. Then everybody yelled at me that there was a minor in the call, and I lowered the request to just Jade Animations lifting up her shirt. And Kay, who was 17 at the time, was the one who drew it for me. The most damning claim in this document doesn't have any evidence to support it. To my knowledge, the call wasn't recorded, and I don't think I or most people would remember what they said in a specific VC over 4 years ago. I don't know what I said, but I don't think I said that. I'm pretty sure this was just put in the document to make me sound as much like Cine as possible. My best guess is I was making a video about Jade Animations and I wanted something to be used in a thumbnail, and Kay offered to do it for me so she could get the art role. Let's be honest here, this picture of Jaden looks like it would be more at home in a thumbnail than in someone's wank bank.
To save some time, I'm not going to bother talking about how weird it is to be obsessed with a real person who doesn't know you. I already made a point of criticizing his behavior towards Jaden in the last video. If the victim's claim is to be believed, he was made aware that a minor was in the call and still went on to request provocative art of Jaden. If not, he still didn't check the age of someone who he asked to draw provocative art. Both scenarios are bad. The victim's scenario, though, would show more negligence than his. In his scenario, he argues that this may have been for a thumbnail, but the chat between him and the victim doesn't seem to reflect that. Quote, "I hope to God this is worth it. Have fun, Jar." sweating emoji, even if the intention was to use it for a thumbnail. I believe that their messages implies that he was still making questionable comments in the call. His response, "That's hot," also doesn't seem to match with his story. Doesn't seem to line up with this being a thumbnail asset. And doesn't reflect well on him with it in mind that he didn't ask for this person's age and they were not an adult.
For me, several months later, they told me that they were 17 at the time they made it. When I saw this message, I didn't know how to respond. It was just before Christmas, so I got ready for the holidays and forgot all about her message. So as you can see, they told me their age after they made the art. According to their document, they didn't want to come out about this sooner because I was a big, scary, and intimidating YouTuber. But the thing is, I was getting cancelled about 4 years ago during the Prismate Luke and Toby drama, and that was only a few months after they made this art for me, so that would have been the perfect time to release this. The people I was dealing with back then were cartoonishly uncharitable. She really missed out on a big opportunity.
In the screenshot he shows here, he says, "Oh my god, you made one of Jaden for me." They then mention their age and the motive for making the art. There is no mention here of a thumbnail, and he refers to the art specifically as... So his earlier comment about this belonging in a thumbnail and not a wank bank doesn't seem to hold up. If we're going...
Oh boy. Boy. Jar, you are not helping your case at all, buddy. You are not helping your fucking case.
Going off just what he submitted and shown screenshots of, he asked a 17-year-old to drop off Jade animations. He didn't know their age, and he didn't ask. That is a ridiculous amount of negligence for a man entering his 30s. You were the adult. It should be on you to check the age of people you're asking to create what you refer to as porn. On the latter, you mentioned that they could have called him out a few months after creating the art because he was being cancelled at the time. Should be obvious that this doesn't hold up. They made that art for a role in your server, and it's clear that they were a fan with no intention at the time of calling it out. For a lot of victims, it's hard to immediately recognize a problem or voice it. And even then, it's a lot of pressure to call someone out on a public platform over something like this. No drama you've been in before this has been near in scale, and it's a lot easier for them to put this out here when you're being called out for being inappropriate with women and racist. What you did here was wrong, and you should have asked them how old they were. I don't think you tried to groom them, or something like that. But I do think you should have known better. He does apologize for this, but I feel like he watered the issue down so much before he did so. No, I am not talking about this. Okay, fine, but only because it involves weird behavior towards another minor.
What?
The next big allegation against me is kind of like the first one. I sent this image to someone who was apparently a minor at the time. I sent it because I honestly thought it was funny. Like, I think you guys can see the comedic nature of this image. Here's all my DMs with this person. As you can see, we barely spoke, and they sent me some inappropriate stuff, like a video about Kronk judging the size of your dick. I acknowledged their age near the end of the chat because I just found out what their age was around this time. However, I did not check their age at the time, so to comedic autism, I am sorry for not double checking your age before sending you this image.
That's twice he hasn't checked how old someone is before sending them something inappropriate. I don't know what's so comedic about that image, but I'm happy for you, I guess. I think a lot of what I said prior could be applied here, but I'd really like to get through this section without putting out a soundbite of me saying or so I'll spare everybody the time I would otherwise spend repeating the problem here.
I think there's only one more big allegation against me that I think I need to go over. And that's the stuff surrounding VidCon 2023. First of all, I'm a little shocked that they held on to this for over a year. Yeah, the ArtCC wasn't planning anything against me, nothing at all.
It wasn't held onto. Ponder's video, which made their experience with you at VidCon public, while you remained anonymous, mind you, released just prior to the next VidCon after an outrageous amount of work from them, there was no rhyme or reason to that release, and it was much prior to you being called out for everything else we've discussed in this video. So if it was a plan to get you gone, then why did it come out before the allegations, and why are you anonymous? You went around talking about what happened to other creators in private before her video came out. That was then passed on, and after she put out her video, it wasn't hard for people with the context to know it was about you. That's how it became public. Not a single person in our group had the plan to put it out there. So we did expect you would. I was done with you after I said all I needed to during our Twitter spat. You made a mistake. That's why it's out there. There's no conspiracy here. Once it came out, of course creators in our circle would address it. The spat we had was public, and people put the pieces together quick. I'm not gonna stay silent after that.
Basically, just before VidCon started, I showed off my new thumbnail for my Spoctor video. Obviously, it had an EDP joke in it because, well, I love making jokes about EDP. Bro is the most exposed man on the internet. And Spoctor had the of a 13-year-old on his flash drive, and EDP went to go meet up with a 13-year-old. So that was the thought process behind the joke. People in the ArtCC had an issue with this.
You know you can't just say my name or show the screenshots. You were quick to name every other creator in this video. Who are these people in the ArtCC?
And eventually I came to the conclusion...
Oh no, he's got a Harley. Oh shit.
That the problem was that people would come across this thumbnail and immediately assume I was comparing him directly to EDP. So I decided to change it.
Oh, you came to that conclusion.
Now granted, they don't seem to have the same problem with other clickbait titles and thumbnails about me, but I guess it's one of those rule for thee but not for me kind of things.
What aboutism? Really? I knew you. You were in my private circles. Of course I would hold the people I'm close to a higher standard than random creators I literally know nothing about.
But I still thought we were on friendly terms and we would meet up at VidCon.
How the fuck did you come to the conclusion that we were on friendly terms? You said we weren't friends. I removed you from all of my private spaces and then blocked you everywhere. What was friendly about any of that?
I sent this inappropriate joke to Mal, and she did not take very kindly to it. I should note that I was a bit high at the time. Weed is illegal in Texas, but in California it's very easy to get. But the bigger issue was me constantly pushing to meet up with her. Eventually I told her that I'll leave her be because I had no more plans to meet up with her because she didn't want to see me. Now I did later apologize for this, but unfortunately it came a little bit too late. Admittedly, I should have stopped after she said no the first time.
I mean, yeah, you should have taken a no, and these were inappropriate texts. You kinda said all I needed to here.
I was walking around at VidCon doing stuff at different panels. Eventually I got hungry. I bought some ice cream, I sat down to eat it, and then I heard Ponder's voice and looked to my left, seeing that she was sitting right next to me. So I shook her hand, revealed who I was, she exclaimed, "Oh my god," and I walked away. I thought it was funny. Ponder described this interaction as a lot more creepy than it really was, adding things like me squeezing her hand and other stuff like that. Or that I...
How old is this nigga? It's like reaching 30, right? Just a robot's age. December 9th. And this nigga's a Sagittarius just like me. Alright. Okay, well, it's a man reaching his 30s, so I'm assuming he's like around like 2 to 3 years older than me. 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that's 4 years older than me. So this nigga gotta be 29 like right now, right? Like in this year. Oh wait, no, his birthday is in December, so he's gotta be 28. So the nigga is just doing all this. Well, no, this was back in 2023, so 26? How the fuck did this nigga got a girlfriend?
I was laughing maniacally as I walked away. I did laugh, but it wasn't until I was inside.
I, for one, think she had a reasonable amount of discomfort at this. She knew of your conversation with Mally, and we'd spoken about the issues I had with you. You came up to her without letting her know who you were, grabbed her hand out of nowhere, and then dropped it on her when she was trapped in the situation. From your perspective, I can see why you wouldn't see the events the same way. She's a short, petite woman that you knew. You are tall, work out, and were a stranger that grabbed her out of nowhere. But of course she would feel less safe than you. You can't tell someone that the way they felt didn't happen, even if you don't have the same perspective.
She talked about this interaction literally a year later and drew me as a elf boy for some reason. She kept me anonymous, of course. A bit odd that my anonymity was important until I was getting bashed. I'm confused as to what the allegation is here. It's just a handshake. I didn't put my arm around her and say the N-word.
It's not an allegation, first off, because you admit it happened, even if you dispute the intensity of the situation. She spoke about an experience that made her uncomfortable and left you anonymous. You caused it to become public that she was talking about you.
Right, so with that out of the way, how did this whole damn thing become public? Essentially, it was kind of a game of telephone because when it happened, Jar himself had told Leo Convoy about what transpired at VidCon. And after that, from what I understand, Leo told Kumo, and then Kumo was the one to bring it up publicly in interviews. First in Himpleton's stream, and then again in Chud Logic's stream. And what do you know? Not a single ArtCC girlie was involved.
People in the audience found it horrific that you approached her in that manner and completely disregarded the boundaries established by the people in our group.
People have claimed I cheated on my girlfriend by doing this, even though we got together after this interaction occurred. And I think a handshake is one of the most unromantic things you can do with a person. I don't think this is sexual assault. It's just two hands touching.
Who the fuck said it was? Who in our group, who in our circle, who was involved in that situation ever said it was?
I wasn't hunting the others down at VidCon. If I was, I would have just stayed there with Ponder. I knew she was friends with them, and I knew they were going to meet up. Basically, the allegation about me hunting the others down at VidCon has no proof backing it up. In fact, all the proof seems to contradict that claim. I sat next to Ponder by complete accident. I wasn't going to pass up on that opportunity. Then there was another allegation about me hunting them down at VidCon 2024. From the video evidence I have seen, the video footage just shows them running or hiding from someone who is allegedly me, but they don't show me in any of their video footage. There's not one single shred of evidence that I was looking for them. Sure, I was keeping an eye out for Ponder. If I saw her, I was just gonna say, hey, did you see Akumu's new video on you? And then walk away. And that was about it. If there was video evidence of me running up the escalator to catch them, or chasing them around at panels, that would for sure make me look very creepy. But just for the sake of argument, let's take their word on it. Let's say I was hunting them down at VidCon and chasing after them. Then what was I gonna do when I caught them? Shake their hand again? Sorry, but I'm gonna keep going to VidCon. I'm not looking for you guys, and I hope you guys aren't looking for me. We can both enjoy it separately.
First, why would you lie about this? And second,
Oof.
in what world would we lie about this? I don't think this is worse than what Ponder said you did. And you admitted to that. Why would you not take this on the chin and admit fault and move on? We have video footage.
Oh, really?
Oh, that nigga is short. He's 5. But it's not important. Anyways.
Hide your face. Avoid it. Are you protecting me?
Yeah. Why would we fake a sudden reaction like this for footage that I didn't even know we had until a few days before my video came out? Like, literally, I forgot this was on film. I probably have DMs to prove it. But further on that, why would we fake a sudden reaction like this when there was no intention to put your name out there for the VidCon events and you were left anonymous in the only video anyone in our group made talking about our experience with you the year before? Does my reaction look fake? Honda was filming for a VidCon video like the one she made in 2023. This video still isn't out yet, even though VidCon 2024 was in June, if that provides some reassurance that this wasn't held onto. This event just happened to be caught on camera, and when she addresses the events in the part of the recording she clearly had the intention to actually include within her video, she refers to you as that creator, the creeper, and with gender-neutral pronouns.
Update, we are still avoiding that creator.
Just made eye contact with him. We're not succeeding.
This is why you run. This is why you run away.
We walked right past him. Is he like the guy with like the Captain America shirt?
Oh, that's what he's wearing? Okay.
This is him.
Yeah, I saw the picture and immediately forgot what he looked like.
Oh my god.
See, I did allude to what if the creeper was... and then, oh no, I summoned them.
You manifested.
I'm so sorry. What have I done?
She clearly still had the intent to keep you anonymous. Let's look at the facts here. We said that you didn't take no for an answer from Mally. That was true. We said that you approached Ponder, grabbed her hand, and then revealed who you were. That was true. We said that you admitted that you followed me in a pharmacy. That was true. We haven't lied about anything. But your angle is that the recorded event of someone in our group noticing you as you start to walk behind us didn't happen. It's
fucking wild, bro. It's fucking wild. Especially when like he kind of like does this with Cindy Bear as well. When, you know, he just lies just to save face for Cindy. He tries to do the same thing for himself. It's like, this nigga is not a good commentary channel. I'm so glad I don't watch his videos anymore. Like, even like way before this whole thing even dropped. Like I said, I used to watch his videos. I did not like the way he talks. And like that intro, just a robot. Like that is just really bad. That's really bad. That's really bad. So
crazy convenient that the one thing you claim didn't happen is the one we don't have a chat log of you confessing to already. In the recording, you can literally hear us mention the shirt you were wearing at the time. Would you like to say that that wasn't what you were wearing? If so, surely you have to ask how we knew that. And beyond that, how we would be able to spot you in a crowd. And just to set the record straight, you didn't chase us up the escalators. If that makes you look any better here. Here's the full order of events. We were in a line for an attraction when you saw us in the first floor convention hall. We got out of that line and then you started to follow us out into the main entrance area with what I'd describe as a fast-paced walk. We then got on the escalator up to the second floor in an attempt to avoid you. You did not follow us up. I believe that you didn't follow us up because you didn't have a creator pass. You need one to get to the second floor. I would assume you only had a community pass, but I could be wrong though. If you'd like to post a photo of a creator pass, if you did actually have one, that's fine with me. Either way, you didn't follow us up the escalator. You ask what would have happened if you did get a chance to talk to us. I have no idea, to be honest, because it didn't happen. It probably just would have been an awkward interaction where I tell you to fuck off. Even if you didn't have anything planned and you were just going to say hi, I don't want to talk to you.
As much as they say that I'm paranoid, I think they're really the paranoid ones. I just wanted to meet up with them at VidCon, and all of this happened.
Wait, but I thought you said that you had no interest in talking to us. Surely him admitting this is enough to establish his motive for following us through the convention hall. None of this happened because you wanted to meet us, though. It happened because you were a bad friend to me. And my friends, people I care about, took my side and said they didn't want to spend time with you with that in mind.
I won't lie, this whole drama has not been fun for me to go through. I joined the losing side in a big drama, and the people I joined tried to sabotage me and destroy me. If it wasn't for my girlfriend's support, I don't think I would have been able to come back as soon as I did. I was thinking about giving up, but then she told me that plenty of other YouTubers have gotten way more backlash than me, and they haven't given up. Turkey Tom, The Quartering, Blair White, Seth the Programmer,
Wait,
Billy
what the
Mations,
fuck?
Tipster, Nostalgia Critic, Killer King.
what the fuck is this patriotic ass shit? Oh my god. And then Seth the Programmer. I mean, wait, what's going on with him? 'Cause I know he said some horrific ass shit about like a 5-year-old, some shit. Not directly to them, but like doing stuff. I don't know. Seth the Programmer. It seems like he's go Walter and Jesse survived Squid Game. And I forgot who that other person is with the glasses.
Seth the Programmer, Illuminations, Tip.
Illymation. Still don't know who that is. What, Turkey Tom? What controversy he got himself into?
Tipster, Nostalgia Critic, Killer Keemstar, Vosh, Kraut, and even more.
I thought at the start of this video that you could only blame yourself. Now the people involved tried to sabotage and destroy you? Okay. I'm getting mixed messages.
I've seen multiple YouTubers get less backlash than me and give up, but I think I'm going to stay. However, I'm going to take a long hiatus. I'm only taking a hiatus from uploading videos, but I'm going to keep on working on videos just as much as I always have. So once I come back in August, I'll have plenty of videos to upload. My channel hasn't been doing so hot all of 2024, so I think it's time I take a step back and re-examine everything.
Hiatus just isn't enough. It's too little too late. If you do want to have a platform, then there's a lot of correction and learning to do. But be blunt, I don't think that you should have a platform anymore with all of this out there. Some of these mistakes are too far to defend or to ignore, especially if you intend to remain in commentary.
I want my content to be more consistent across all of my channels. I also think taking a break from YouTube would not only be a good thing for my mental health, but also because it has changed so much. It's not YouTube anymore, it's the gay love child of TikTok and Twitch. I've seen so many YouTubers say they're going to take a break, only to not do so, and then they mess up a lot. So I'm going to try to avoid making the same mistakes as them. Trust me, I wanted to make this video longer. I wanted to debunk more allegations against me, but if I make this video too long, well, people aren't going to check it out. The bigger I get on YouTube, the more haters I'm going to get, so I'm just going to have to deal with the fact that people are going to believe things about me that are untrue, just like a lot of big YouTubers have to deal with.
My drama is what Dream has to deal with every day of his life? Ah!
Getting back...
You know what? I'm not even going to say anything about that.
Stabbed by people I was trying to help, and so much more. I just need to take a step back and take a break for a little bit. I hate that people can literally say anything about me and it's treated as fact, even if they have no evidence for their claim. I debunked our gentleman's video on me, he took it down, quit YouTube for several months, and once this drama around me happened, he re-uploaded it, and it got over 200,000 views. Come on, that's a bitch move. Know what else is a bitch move? People coming out with allegations against me that if they released at any other time wouldn't have been taken seriously at all. If you think these allegations are half as damning as you painted them out to be, then you should have released them way sooner. But I guess you got a lot of views and attention, so I suppose it was worth it. Someone told me that more videos have been made on me than Cinny. I don't know if that's true or not, but it feels true. I know there are people who haven't made a video on Cinny, but did make a video on me. Being more hated than aggressor is not a good feeling.
What right does he think he has to criticize any other creator at this point? You defended aggressor. You asked a 17-year-old for porn, and every other issue with you is now out there. You don't get to pretend to be the victim here. You aren't one.
I don't think people were going to let me ignore this. When you take every single mistake anyone has ever made and line them up in a row, we all look like monsters. This drama has shown me one thing. People for years couldn't wait to see my downfall. And it sucks to know that. But not everyone is against me. A lot of people want to see me make a comeback. And I understand that for the last couple of months on YouTube, I've been acting a little bit crazy. I should have taken a break a lot longer ago, but I'm going to do so now.
Well, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. As I mentioned, I have a second channel down below and a new video right now over there. Give it a look if you'd like to see more from me. The rest of my social media is in the description. Please consider becoming a channel member for early access to content and to financially support the channel. These videos take quite a while to make and I would appreciate your generosity. All of that said,
yeah, that apology was shit. All I'm hearing is just, oh, but look at all these other creators that has to deal with all that shit, and you know they came back. So you know if I do that shit, you know maybe I could come back, you know. And then you know here comes the victim thing. Talk about some other odd shit that he's done, and yeah, I mean like at the first start of the video, he did some very decent by apologizing for not listening, for involving someone in a drama that they have no involvement in, and some other shit. But other than that, it's just I don't even know, bro. And then you know there's also the lying too. It's just I don't know, just a robot. I don't know. Admitting I should have stopped after she said no for the first time is such a fucking spooky admission in general. Yeah, I'm not a predator, I'm just being racist. I'm not as much as a racist as I am sexist. Do not let this man defend himself ever again. Yeah, this man fucking sucked, bro. This man absolutely fucking sucked. Not gonna lie, Jar's apology is aggravating as hell, but funny as shit. The terminally online oversharing he kept doing was fucking insane. Yeah, especially this whole gas fetish thing that he's doing. It's just odd as fuck, to say the least. It's odd as fuck. Jar's apology was not an apology in the slightest. Imagine making an apology video where you only apologize to the people who weren't even involved in the first place, and then apologizing to the victim only to then immediately say your groomer didn't groom you, like crazy work. Like I said, it's just a bunch of nothing. That whole shit was just a bunch of nothing. All I'm hearing is just, oh, I mean, I apologize, but it's like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. That's his apology. That is his apology right there. What the fuck is this? The creepy TikTok influencer who made her family homeless. How lovely. Don't have anything noticeable to add here, so Finland. Yep. The do I have a fart fetish title card ain't helping him beat the allegations. I think this right here just capitalize what type of apology this nigga has. That type of apology he display in a YouTube video, saying, "Oh, do I have a fart fetish?" in a video about you apologizing to the victims and all this other shit. Cause like, he could have just said something on the lines of, you know, I didn't do research. I shouldn't have defended Cindy Bear. I shouldn't have said all those weird ass shit. I shouldn't have followed, you know, Harley around and his friends and all this other stuff here and there. I feel as though that taking accountability for your actions is just a one-way ticket, right? A one-way ticket of growing. But he didn't take any sort of accountability on even like the most damning thing ever. He just tries to brush it off away and tries to make himself not a bad guy. He just like, oh, I'm just somebody that made a mistake. Like, that's not taking accountability. That's just avoiding it. That's just not how it is, bro. Hey, you know, it is what it is, man. I won't say it sucked too, because I was never a fan of Just a Robot. I like I said, only watched like 2 or 3 videos and I just hopped off because I did not like the way that he talks. Just a Robot. Like, it's just crazy as hell how he operates. But hey, you know, it is what it is. Damn, 3 hours? 3.5 hours. Holy fucking shit. Yeah, he makes videos every 3 months or every month. I don't fucking know. I don't know the schedule. But hey, you know, it is what it is.